I would always recommend that you maintain your mower at least once a year, but I guess periodically is better than never doing it. The last time I serviced this mower was 4 years ago and it's way past due on its maintenance. So I'm pretty sure the blade needs sharpening, the air filter is probably covered with grass and dirt, and I can only imagine how terrible the oil is. But it's finally here now, and we're about to see what happens when you forget to do something as important like maintenance. In today's video, we're going to be looking at this Snapper branded lawnmower. And the problem is that the owner says it needs a tune-up, which probably means the basics like a new air filter and an oil change. But we're going to go a bit further than that today, and that's mainly because it's been years since it was last taken care of. Now, I'm going to try and repair this lawnmower, but yours might be different, so this might not work on yours. So if things are not working out for you, like in the video, please ask about it, and I'll be glad to answer your questions. Now, surprisingly, this mower was fairly clean when we first got it, so it didn't need that much effort to get it looking like this. So what are the plans for this mower then? Well, we'll take a look at the fluids here in a bit, but we're also going to inspect the air filter, blades, cables, and even the wheels. Now, with this mower being over a decade old, it fortunately came with one of the best engines on it that Briggs ever made. So it will take a beating all day and last, but I'm more worried about the rest of the mower, and you'll see what I mean later on. So here's the strange part. There's just enough oil in the engine, and by the color, it's also not that bad for 4 years of use. So unless they were actively monitoring the oil like they should be doing, or someone else was maintaining it for them. Of course, I could imagine that they might have been taking care of it, but most consumers that do that would also do their own tune-ups as well. You may have also noticed that I'm draining the fuel from the tank, and that's because I have something special planned for this mower later on. Next, we'll take out the air filter and see if we get a surprise there as well. And what we find is quite typical for an air filter that's never been changed. Now before I go on, I'm going to start the engine and see how it runs on the gasoline that's still left in the fuel system. So it's been running for about 5 minutes and the engine should be close to normal operating temps. Let's see how it starts back up when it's hot. Luckily it started back up without much hassle, although the cold start could have been a little bit better. I don't know if you noticed it, but during the test run, the front wheels looked awfully wobbly while they were spinning. Even though there's not much we can do for them, I'd like to eventually take off the wheels and see why they're loose. Now, since the oil is somewhat warm, we're going to tip the mower on its side to drain the oil out. Now, if you want to get out the majority of the heavier particles from the engine, try getting the engine oil as hot as possible. Otherwise, you need to find a different way to flush out the heavier particles with either an engine flush or multiple oil changes. Now, while the mower is on its side, I'll take this opportunity to remove the blade for a sharpening and more importantly, a balancing. So I changed the blade on this mower the last time I saw it, and by the looks of it, I think this is the same one. Now the blade isn't sharp anymore, but it's also not that badly worn out either. Now before I sharpen this blade, I'm going to use my blade balancer to find out if it's out of balance beforehand, and if so, I can sharpen it accordingly. You also need to be extremely careful when placing the blade on the cone for the balancer, otherwise you might get a bad reading. So after doing it a second time, turns out the blade was already balanced before our sharpening. That means when I sharpen it, I should try to make the same number of passes on both sides. But if the blade was out of balance, I could then try to make a different number of passes on one side to try to bring it back to being balanced. Now, why is it so important to make sure the blade for your mower is balanced? Well, the best answer would be to help reduce unnecessary vibrations, which could mean less wear on the engine. In a later repair of a different mower, I'll show you what could happen to an engine with an unbalanced blade, and it's not good. So after looking at the engine oil, it doesn't look that bad considering it's been in there for the last 4 years. But it's only when we start to rock the pan back and forth that you realize that even the oil coating the pan is dark as well. So I guess dirty oil is still better than no oil at all, but good clean oil will always perform better. So here's the surprise I was going to tell you about. During the conversation with the owner who happens to work at the same place, they mentioned that the mower is backfiring after long periods of use. What I didn't tell you about this mower is that I do believe the carb has had an issue and it's only gotten worse in the last 4 years. And to deal with it, the customer agreed to replace the carb instead of servicing it, which I think was a great idea, at least for this situation. Of course, it is your choice if you want to service your carb instead of replacing it, and in this case, it was just the easier choice. Now, since this carb is still working, I'm not going to throw it away, but instead keep it around as a test carb for other projects. You don't have to drain the fuel system to work on the carb, but it does make it a bit safer than dealing with the possibility of a fire hazard. So after looking at it, this is the original carb, which is a really good quality product. And if you want to replace it with another OEM carb, well, that's up to you, but I will let you know that you're going to spend 4 to 5 times more than an aftermarket one. So if you have the extra money to spend on it, then by all means go for it, but with the way things are right now, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. After looking it over, it appears to be the same one as the one we just took off. However, there will be a surprise later on. Remember to replace the O-ring with the new one that comes in the kit. Otherwise, there'll be nothing to keep air from leaking into the engine from the backside of the carb. We also need to replace the gasket on the front side of the carb as well, which will help to keep dirt from making it past the air filter. So the surprise came when I tried to install the governor linkage to the carb. Turns out the opening in the plastic arm was too small and I had to make it a bit larger to be able to install it. Now, it wasn't a big issue, but if you run into something like this, remember not to force it, otherwise you could end up breaking it. This is probably only the second time this has ever happened, but it is something to look out for. Also, when installing the arm for the air vane, which bypasses the choke, make sure that the tab is in the groove on the choke arm. If you don't, the choke will always be on and the engine will start and run, but it won't be able to get to full speed. I also noticed that the air vane is a bit tough to move, which could mean something is interfering with it. And to see if there is, we'll need to take off the blower housing that the recoil is attached to. There could be a rat's nest of grass or maybe a wasp nest that might be in the way of the arm. This sometimes happens when a mower is left in storage over the fall and winter and then brought out to use in the spring. So after taking off the housing, it's quite obvious that there's nothing in the way of it, so why is the arm so sticky then? The other reason why could be the bolt that it pivots on could be dirty or even corroded, causing the arm to not move as easily as it should. And that seems to be the case here. As you can see, the bolt is very dirty and needs to be cleaned. But after a quick spray and wipe with some brake cleaner, it now looks a whole lot better. I'm also going to clean the opening in the arm by spraying brake cleaner into it. After that, I'll then apply a lubricant to the bolt, but it's not necessary. In fact, after looking at it now, it's probably a better idea to leave it bare because the lube will attract dirt and get back to the way it was over time. But after a bit of cleaning and some lubrication, the air vane now moves freely just like it should. Now the cleaning we just did is not part of a standard tune-up, but the next part should be, which is to lubricate the pivoting and sliding parts of the mower. Now that's only if you want your mower to work the best it can for the next several years. But if you don't want to put this sort of effort into your lawnmower, it might work after a decade, but it's not going to work very well. Now to prove my point, I sold a very good lawnmower to another coworker of mine about 3 years ago, but recently got it back. However, since they didn't do any sort of maintenance to it, it was already showing signs of wear and tear despite being a high-end mower. Now the air filter that came off this engine looked okay, however, it turns out it's far from it. After giving it a couple of taps on the table, you can see just how much stuff was in there. Now, this isn't even all of it, but just for a size comparison, here's my socket next to it. Now, if I remember to, next time I'll bring out my scale to weigh the air filters before and after cleaning them just to show you how much was in there. We're almost done with the maintenance, and I know it seems like I'm doing a lot, but that's only because I'm having to make up for missed maintenance. Next up are those wobbly wheels, and to be honest, I don't think they were this bad 4 years ago, but then again, that was a long time to go without any sort of care. So with the wheel off the axle, we'll need to give it a quick cleaning so that we can see what we're working with, and what we see is not good. I know it's tough to tell, but the axle is worn down where the steel insert makes contact with it. But if I put my hand behind it, it should make it a bit easier to tell where the wear starts and where it stops. Unfortunately, there's not much that can be done about it, but to keep it from getting any worse, I'll apply a liberal amount of grease to it. Now to keep your wheels from looking like this one, I would recommend that you clean your axles and lubricate them at least once a year. And while we're here, I would also apply a thin lubricant to the bushings for the self-propel. It really doesn't take that much time to do this kind of wheel maintenance, and to be honest, if you start this routine right out of the box, you don't even need to take the wheels off the mower. I would just spray a thin lubricant around the bolts for the wheels and it should make its way to the axles. The very last bit of maintenance to do is of course the most important one, which is to replace the oil and checking its level repeatedly, making sure not to overfill it. You can either measure out the amount to pour into the engine, or if you're like me, just check it until it's where it needs to be at. Now, if you put too much in, you'll have to tilt the mower over slightly to take out a couple of ounces at a time. The engine seems to be running a bit faster with this new carb, so I'll adjust the speed later on, but at least the mower is now up to date with all its maintenance. Now, the owner of this mower is concerned about the well-being of their equipment, but sometimes it's not the only thing they have on their mind, so I guess an oil change every 4 years is good enough for them. Just to let you know, I have reached out to them year after year for a tune-up, but they decline it every time, and of course, I can't make them do it either. The same goes for those that are watching this video. You're free to do or not do anything you want with your mower. Just don't complain that your mower only lasted 2 years if you're unwilling to give it any sort of effort. So my question is, do you think the maintenance I did was too much, too little, or not enough? If I had to rate it, I'd say it was just enough. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate your time here. Please feel free to ask me any questions about this project or about your own projects, and I hope to see you in the next video.